Welcome everybody. This is our session for Maths Week England, which theme this year is all about the number 3. So we have decided to focus on triangles for our session. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to be doing some artwork today, some artwork with triangles, and hopefully you can join along with us. So we're going to start with some questions. I'm going to put some questions up on the screen. So if you have a discussion in your classrooms, see if you can answer some of those questions. You can write your answers in the chat or anything that comes up, and then we'll share some of the answers. Okay.
I can see lots of hands up, Neva.
Lots of waving. So I will read out the questions just in case that helps. So we've got the first one is, what are the properties of a triangle? Second one is, can you name any types of triangles? And maybe why they are called those types? And the third one is, where do you find or see triangles in everyday life? So around you. Okay, great. We've got some people starting writing in the chat.
Brilliant. We've got isosceles, equilateral, right-angled, and scaly. Brilliant. We've got 3 straight sides, 3 vertices, angles add up to 180 degrees. Similar again, triangles have 3 sides. Triangles look like mountains with a point at the top. They have a sharp end. Triangles have 3 corners. And yeah, the 4 triangles. Triangles do not all look the same. We can see triangles in pizza, Doritos. We can. Can anybody name the chocolate bar that we can see triangles in? Toblerone, yes, we can see them in Toblerone. Road signs, yes, we do everyday life.
Okay, we're going to go through some of the answers, but you can keep having some discussions or talking about it or thinking about it. So the first one is, what are the properties of triangles? So we've got a few down here, which I think have been mentioned. So triangles are usually 2D shapes when we're talking about triangles. They have 3 sides, they have 3 angles and 3 vertices, which are also known as the corners. And the angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So I think we got most of those. Well done, guys. The next one were the types of triangles. So we've got 4 types of triangles here, and there's some pictures so you can see the differences. So the first one is a scalene triangle, and it has 3 sides of different lengths and 3 unequal angles. The next one is an isosceles. So this has 2 sides of equal length, the 2 longer sides on this picture, and then 2 equal angles. An equilateral triangle. So this has 3 sides of equal length and 3 equal angles. And then also a right angled triangle. So the white square shows us where the right angle is, and that angle is 90 degrees. So we know that that's a right angle triangle. We're going to be talking about some of these triangles during this session. And the final one, where do you see or find or see triangles in everyday life? So we've got some Egyptian pyramids at the top. A bridge. So often bridges have triangular structures in this kind of formation, which is called a truss bridge. Tortilla chips, nachos, whatever you call the triangular chips. The Bermuda Triangle, so that's a place near the Caribbean, which is called the Bermuda Triangle. And then finally, a sandwich, when it's cut on the diagonal, creates 2 triangles. So we've got a triangular sandwich. But there are some great extras. So Toblerones, pizzas, they're all great options for triangles all around us. Okay, I'm going to take that off now. Susan, do you want to do your properties of triangles?
Yeah, so something else about triangles, and they're quite magical because they're really strong. They're the strongest shape, and that's why we often see them in structures like bridges that Neva showed you. And I can show you here. So we've got a square, it's made out of straws, and I've also got a triangle. And if I take the square and I push on the two corners, you'll see that the square bends. Okay, it's not very sturdy, it's not very strong. So not great for building on a square alone. But if we take a triangle, and if I try and do the same, so I take two corners, any two corners, and I try and push them, it's really strong. It's very, very sturdy. So really, really strong, a triangle. And so if you're doing an experiment at school where you have to build a bridge or you have to construct something to hold a bag of sugar or something that's heavy like a book, remember to put triangles in your structure. That's what will make it work. Good tip.
Okay, awesome. So for this session, you should have, or maybe have, 2 sheets. So we've sent you a sheet with lots of triangles on it, small triangles, and then a sheet with a large triangle on it. And if you look behind Susan, there's some pictures of some artwork that she's created with the triangles. So that's the ultimate aim of what we're going to do with this session. So you can start having to think about what you might like to create with your triangles. But we're also going to do some like exploring as well to see what else we can do with them. So if you have a sheet like this, have a think about what the shape of triangle, what type of triangle we've drawn for you. And you can start cutting them out. If you want to, you can also color them before you cut them if you know what you're going to design. But don't worry, you can color them afterwards as well. Cutting would be a useful thing to do. So if you want to start cutting, that would be helpful if you're going to do it along with us. And we're going to think about what we can do with these triangles. So hopefully you have figured out that these are equilateral triangles. So they have equal sides and equal angles. So when we use them, we can do lots of different things with them and they'll stay the same no matter which way around they are. So hopefully you guys are all cutting now. If you don't have these sheets printed, you can obviously cut your own triangles out. And don't worry if they're not equilateral triangles. You can just choose some other triangles that you'd like to cut out. That's not a problem. You can make the artwork with any types of triangles. And we're going to just play a song. We have a song that was written by us, sung for us. Called the Triangular Smile Song. So we're going to play that while you guys are cutting, if you're joining along with us. If you're not doing it with us, you can just sing along and there's some actions and things like that as well.
And we should probably say, teachers, we do apologise because this song is quite catchy. And so you'll probably be singing it or humming it for the rest of the day. So we do apologise for that.
It's like 2.5 minutes long, so not that long. Right, share sound. Okay.
The shape that everyone's talking about. 3 straight sides, 1, 2, 3. That makes a triangle I can see. Count down the pointy bits, 3, 2, 1. Now we're ready for triangle fun. Triangle, triangle. It's got 3 corners and it's got 3 sides. Let's all give a big triangular smile. Triangles can be found all over the world if you just look around. When the pharaohs built the pyramids, using lots of triangles is how they did it. You could lean a ladder up against the wall or cut a tasty sandwich diagonal. Triangle, triangle. It's got 3 corners and it's got 3 sides. Let's all give a big triangular smile. Triangles are everywhere. You can wear them on your shirt or in your hair. See them in the shape of a wedge of cheese or in the outline of a Christmas tree. Ice cream cones that make you cooler, but don't get lost in the Bermuda Triangle. Triangle.
Mm. Okay, hopefully you've done some good cutting out if you're joining in with us. So I have, I'm just gonna put my screen down so you can see my big triangle. So I've got 16 triangles that I've cut out. I haven't colored mine in. And I've got my big kind of triangle template. My little ones and my big one are all equilateral triangles, so they all have equal sides and equal angles. And what we want you to try and do is see if you can make a larger equilateral triangle using all your small ones. So you can arrange them on your table to see if you can make them into. So I've used 4 small triangles there, and I've made a larger equilateral triangle using those. But see if you can get bigger. See if you can use all 16 and see how big your triangle can get. If you're a little bit younger, and you need some help, you can use this large template here to help arrange them inside the template. But if you're a bit older, I reckon you could probably try and do that on a surface. So see if you can explore the triangles that you've cut out. You can rotate them, you can flip them. They should all remain the same. And when we do this activity, we call it a reptile activity. So we're using the same shape and it's getting larger by using like more tiles of the same shape. Is hopefully get Susan back. Hopefully you've all cut them out, but keep going if you're still cutting. That's absolutely fine. Susan.
If you want to draw your triangles in with a ruler, you can do so. So a pencil and a ruler, you can draw them into that larger triangle shape. And you may not want to put all 16 triangles in. So, I mean, I have used 16 here, but I've coloured them to show you that you could use perhaps just 4 larger triangles in there. So there's different things that you can do with your shape. So just as an idea.
Oh, let's put this back up. So once you've had a bit of an exploration, we're going to think about different pieces of artwork that we can create. So you should have your 16 triangles that you've cut out, but you can obviously use the bits of paper around the edge to draw more, or you could try and cut out some different types of triangles. And we're going to start to think about the artwork we're going to create. So you can still see Susan's ones in the background. She's got, oh God, do you want to introduce them all?
So, my camera's back to front, sorry. So we have got a fox, which I think that's my favourite one, actually, the fox. So we've got fox. We've also got some fish. They're just using 5 equilateral triangles. And I've made a flower as well. But it would be really nice if you were doing it as a class. Perhaps you could all make a fish, and then you could get lots of blue triangles and put them onto a background. So the whole wall is like a triangular wall. Of a fish or an underwater scene, which would be beautiful to look at. I think Neva's making one at the moment. I think she should be. Something else you could do, you don't have to make an animal or a flower. It doesn't have to be an actual picture of something. You could actually use your triangles and you could make a tessellation pattern. So tessellation is where we have shapes that all fit together with no overlaps and no gaps. So if you think of bricks and tiles in your home, a football is all tessellating shapes. So you could make a pattern using tessellating triangles. Just stick this on the wall, just to start it off so you can see. So you could colour it in some pretty colours, and then you could just start to build a pattern in that way. So it doesn't have to be of an animal or anything like that. You can be really, really creative with it. And hopefully you can see that. So yeah, and when you have done it, we would love to see all your creations. So please do share them with us, because we love seeing what you've been up to. Just fit in a couple more while Neva's finishing her creation.
Well, that was quickly done. I forgot about it. So I've used 8 of my triangles and I've just done a kite. So I haven't coloured it in yet, so I will colour it in, and I'm going to add a string. So I'm going to do that now. What colour shall my kite be? My glue's not being very sticky.
To see those of you with cameras on really busy. That's great to see. Lots of cutting going on, Neva.
Awesome. Here we go. So I've done a quick colour of my kite. I just added a little kite string. And I've got some more triangles left, so I'm going to do something else as well.
something that you can do is you can just decorate one triangle or a couple of triangles, and then you can draw extra bits on, which is a really nice effect as well. So you could take all 16 triangles and see if you can think of something that you could turn them into. Like you mentioned, pizza, cheese, a house rooftop, flag, lots of different things you mentioned. I think, Neva, you've got a picture of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna share. Let's share that picture. That's some cool. There's
So yeah, perhaps use your triangle and add other bits to it. So stick it down on some paper and then add some bits to it. I really like the ice cream cone on that one. Very cool. Maybe perhaps while everyone's busy colouring and cutting still, maybe we could have a replay of the song, Neva.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Just to inspire us.
Cool.
I'm going to sing and shout for the shape that everyone's talking about. 3 straight sides, 1, 2, 3. That makes a triangle I can see. Count down the pointy bits, 3, 2, 1. Now we're ready for triangle fun. Triangle, triangle. It's got 3 corners and it's got 3 sides. Let's all give a big triangular smile. Triangles can be found all over the world if you just look around. When the pharaohs built the pyramids, using lots of triangles is how they did it. You could lean a ladder up against the wall, or cut a tasty sandwich diagonal. Triangle, triangle. It's got 3 corners and it's got 3 sides. Let's all give a big triangular smile. Triangles are everywhere. You can wear them on your shirt or in your hair. See them in the shape of a wedge of cheese, or in the outline of a Christmas tree. Ice cream cones that make you cooler, but don't get lost in the Bermuda Triangle. Triangle. It's got 3 corners and it's got 3 sides. Let's all give a big triangular smile. Can I have an isosceles? Can I get a right angle, please? Scalene and equilateral. Now we know the names of all of the triangles. All the triangles. They've got 3 corners and they've got 3 sides. Let's all give a big triangular smile.
Okay.
While you were listening to that, I noticed in the chat that somebody SSPP year 1 and 2 had said the sail on a sailboat. So I've changed my tessellation into it's kind of a sailboat. I think kind of see it's a sail.
Cool. So the other thing we talked about was making different. So we've given you equilateral triangles, but you can make some different ones. So I've done a butterfly up here, just using some equilateral triangles. And then down here, what I did with my equilateral triangle is I cut it in half. So if you cut it from the point to the midpoint of the bottom one below, you'll get 2 right angled triangles. So I've used my right angled triangles to make a tree. Well, half a tree. I'm going to give it a trunk as well. So you can cut the triangles up, or you could just cut some new triangles out of different pieces of paper, and you could use those as well. So you don't need to just use the ones that we've given you. And And so a scalene triangle will just have 3 different sides, 3 different angles. So you can cut any kind of triangle out for that one. If you want the isosceles triangle, remember we have 2 sides that are the same length, and the angles at the bottom, the base angles will be the same. That might be quite hard to freehand cut out, but you could try. We've got our equilaterals, and then if you cut those in half, you'll get 2 right angle triangles as well. So you could use some different shapes as well if you want to make different types of pictures. Here we go. I finished my tree now with my right angle triangles. Cool. So I'm gonna do, while you're carrying on with your artwork, because we want you to create something that you're really proud of, we're gonna just tell you about the other activity that we sent. So it's not for you to do now. Maybe you could do it with your class later or on another day this maths week, or you could take it home and do it with your families. So we've given you a activity sheet called tetrahedron template. And this is like a flat net using 4 triangles. And what you can do is cut that out, and then you'll be able to make a 3D shape with your flat 2D net. Susan, I'm going to pin you so they can see.
So I've just printed it on green paper or green card, but you can colour it. And when you decorate them, they look really, really fantastic, actually. But you'll see why I've done it green in a minute. But yeah, so once you've cut out your shape, you just fold along the lines that are there. So fold them all in the same direction, and you just fold the 3 tabs. There's 3 tabs for you to glue. So pop some glue on or some tape, and then as you fold it together and you stick those tabs down, your 2D net will become a 3D shape, which is called a tetrahedron. So that's what that shape is, and it's made up of 4 triangles. The really good thing about this tetrahedron is if you get 3 friends to join you, or you make another 3, you can make something called what we're calling a tetrahedron, which is quite nice at this time of the year in the lead up to Christmas. So we've got a festive tree here. So I've just made another 3 of those. So I've got 4 tetrahedrons. I pop them together, and I've just decorated them with some stars and some stickers to make a tetrahedron. Now, if you're doing it as a class, you can actually put all your tetrahedrons together. And if you've got 4 here and another 4 and 4 and 4, you can actually make a bigger tetrahedron. And if you've got the whole school doing it, you can make an even bigger one. Join them all together and make a giant structure, and get parents involved as well, which is really, really nice activity if everybody brings one in. So yes, that's our tetrahedron, something you might want to try at home.
And it's based on a Sierpinski tetrahedron. So it's a fractal, so it's like a never-ending pattern of similar shapes. So if you see them out there in the ether, they're called Sierpinski triangles. We've kind of renamed them because we think they look like trees once they're all together, especially if they're in green. So yes, it would be great if you could either take those home or do them with your class another time this week. So that,
okay. Sorry, Neve, I should say, as an extra challenge as well, you could even make them out of straws. So if you make your equilateral triangle out of straws, preferably biodegradable, but they do need to be ones with a bendy bit on them, so you can tuck them in. So you make your straws, there you go, make 4 of those, sellotape them together, and then you can make a really giant structure. They're quite quick to make, so you can make lots and lots of tetrahedrons with straws.
Cool. So thank you so much for joining us today at a different time. It's been great to have you on us. I'm just going to stop the recording now.